Always a good thing to right, hopefully we should be streaming. Let's wait for it to come up on YouTube. Yep, the usual delays there. Just see me drinking my cup on the screen. Right, hello and welcome back to, well, it's been a very long time. Welcome back to the little YouTube channel I have. I'm doing a sort of updatey, vloggy style thing. Just trying to find my videos, because I don't actually know. Last time I streamed was, apart from today, wow, it's around a month ago, and which I apologise for. I'm not really sure what happened. I know what happened, but it's long and complicated. So what can you see on my screen? You can see terminal and you can see Emacs. So let's run back short history, because you know that's what we should be doing. It's a vloggy. Sorry, that's a squeaky chair under the table. During February we made a good attempt at writing an interpreter in C++. It went quite well. Originally we were going to use Rust, but didn't quite get on with it. It plateaued. I was getting a bit, I'm not sure, demotivated by it, and I just, after a good 30 episodes, we sort of brought that to a halt. Not totally, it's on hiatus. We might go back to it at some point. I think I really wanted to do some game dev, so I thought I'd do it in Rust, and we did a little stream or two. Let me go back. Oh god, I did a March review as well. God, I should have done my April review, sorry. Where I tried to develop a little Squares game in Rust using a library, the Net Silver. Hopefully this won't play, I'll just check. Okay, I didn't actually put any details in the show notes. Oh well, using something. Let's see if I can spot it there. I haven't got any dependencies. Here it is. What is it called? Oh, Rustlang. I'm doing instruction of Rustlang there. And Quicksilver. That was it. Which I liked, but I didn't like it. I liked it until I hit the tech stuff, and I didn't like the abstractions on it, and then that encouraged me to, I'm often like this, decided to go slightly lower and see if I could write my own using OpenGL. So not exactly low level, very old, sort of, you'd almost consider a high level API now compared to Vulkan and Co. Oh, right, I forgot to do my daily introductions. I'm flicking screens, you can't see what's going on. It is, what day is it today? May the 14th, at 9:23 in the UK. I have tea and I have been training, so I am quite tired. Taekwondo training. I'm also quite dry, which is probably why my throat's a bit croaky. Should have rehydrated more. So anyway, so at the same time, I was a bit fed up. I started writing a little engine in OpenGL, and guess what? In Rust, it compiled like a slow thing on a slow day. Perhaps I'm doing something wrong in Rust, but once I got to about 6-7 second compile times for what was a couple of hundred lines of code, I was getting annoyed. I know perhaps I could split it into different libraries. There might be a better Rust term for that. But I felt like if you're hitting a few hundred lines and you're having to do that, it didn't feel suited for what I wanted to do. At home, at work, if someone said we're moving over to Rust, I'd be very happy, because it adds a lot. So anyway, I didn't want to head back to C++. I enjoy it a bit. Sometimes it feels like work, because I do C++ all day long, and I kind of want to be doing something different at home, which is a reasonable thing. We're not focused on productivity or really anything. Just just meant to be enjoying it all. Okay, I've made some notes, so I'd remember to make some notes. To remember to at least cover some. Did it even come up? Yeah. Cover some of what I wanted to talk about. So I was hitting all that stuff, and at the same time, work was pretty busy, so I was not necessarily going to be streaming much anyway. Also, the work sent me over to Bristol, which is 50 odd miles from where I live, to attend the ACU conference. We should throw that up on a web page and bring that over. ACCU conference. Here it is. Cool. Pretty nice, well attended, friendly, exactly what you'd expect from a C++ conference. Not quite a C++ conference. It still gets a lot of C and C++ content, but it has other things. So, programming conference. Talk to some people, it's fun to talk to people, nice food, which helped me put on some weight, just when I didn't want to. Nice coffee, because just when I wanted to be cutting my coffee down. Herb Sasser's talk was good. You can probably, let me see if I can find it on YouTube. ACCU YouTube. Apparently I'm using DuckDuckGo now at the moment. That's Phil Nash, maybe. He did a talk on errors in C++, and there's a lot of good stuff there. I mean, obviously some talks were great, some talks were less targeted at me, I suppose. I was attending, but it knocked me for 6. It was knackering, so I didn't do anything that week. And the following week was a real crunch time at work, so I didn't really do much that week for home programming. So basically I had a chance to take a break, and then the following week after that I cut my hours at work down to the more normal hours, and which I'm still doing, which is pretty cool. I wasn't really working that many hours over time. It wasn't like an hour or two a night just for the final few weeks. So work is cool. No complaints at work, and they pay overtime. So no complaints at all. Right, cross off ACU. We've talked about that. Time in house. I wonder what that means. Ah, there's another word there. So I pretty much knew I was at a point where I was not really doing much coding. Needed a bit of recreational coding and a bit of relax. So the habit of streaming stopped. I still saying them a lot, aren't I? So I got thinking, so obviously having written, what other stuff is going on? My other half's in exam mode, which means I spent a lot of time taking the children out, so my other half can study. That has consumed a lot of time. That's coming to an end now, so hopefully we'll be slightly better off in terms of stress levels. Well, it's not quite at an end yet. So I started to think, while I was writing the interpreter, while you're doing it, rather than just reading about it, you do think about languages a lot. And one of the things, it's not really come about then, but I've held it for a while, was I've always thought that if you took C, got rid of all the old bits and the buggy bits and no compatibility, and then improved it in some way, I've always thought that there was a nice little language that you could hold in your head, twiddling my fingers, and be quite productive. You can be quite productive in C, but there's some modernisations you could do. You miss generics and you miss a few other things. And back in my mind, I always thought I'd like to write something like that. Take a lot of the ideas from Rust and the tooling from Rust. The great package manager, the great this, and the build tool that's really easy to use. And it's all integrated, and so you've got no hassle whatsoever. but to create something like that takes a long time, particularly system level language. Even if you're using LLVM, you've got a lot to write and a lot to think about. Writing the interpreter, small, almost, even if it's typed scripting language, is not quite so a big undertaking. So when I started googling around, I come across a few different languages, but the one that really stuck in my mind was Zig. I was aware of it. Let me see if I can find a Zig for me. That's my live stream. Why have I got that on a separate window? Let's use that one. Ziglang. Now it breaks my one. I've tried to stick to a rule where I won't use anything before version 1. Some exceptions, Inkscape, which long ago hit version 0.8 or something, and we should be like version 2 for most programming languages. So, feature highlights. Can we see that? Probably not. It's a small, simple language. What does that mean? You hold it in your head. I've only written 300 lines of code in it. I have not got it in my head, but I can very much say I will be able to get it in my head. Performance and safety. Not as safe as Safe Rust, but probably slightly safer than unsafe Rust, if that makes sense. The version 0.4, they release a version every 6 months, so you can expect 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 3 more years before they hit version 1. Competes with C. Really, the goal is to knock out C, which isn't a bad idea, but importantly, where am I going with this? It integrates really well with C. You can just import a C header and just use it directly. There's no wrapping it or anything like that. You just import and you can use the functions. So any library that has a C interface, not a C++ interface, C interface can just be used. Having said that, I haven't tried it on many libraries, so it may be that they've still got a lot of edge cases to work out, but that's their goal. Also ships with a C library, a C compiler, because it's using LLVM, so they ship with Clang, which means that the Zig build tool can build C code. In fact, you could use the build tool just to build C code, but you can build C code and Zig code, and just link them together and you're good to go. No problems, no hassle. Rust has this as a module, I believe, like a GCC module. This also ships with libc, so it can compile that. And importantly, it's just one flag, and you can target Windows from Linux and all that sort of thing. The other way around. Good. It doesn't have a mobile story, I don't think, at the moment, but it does have a WebAssembly story just coming along, so you can compile to WebAssembly. Not as smooth as Rust, probably not as smooth as C++, which is quite good at that sort of thing. I'm noticing on my screen there's a lot of flashing around, so I'll be careful. I wonder why that is. Memory management, that's fine, I don't have a problem with that. Some people do, I know. Fresh take on error handling, yeah, it's just errors from, destruction of functions, which is nice, and it is automatically generates C headers, so good integration. Cross compiling first, build system, consistency, stackless code routines via stackless code routines. I've done that, and I would say overall it's quite nice. Now, bad points. Well, let's start on a good point first. Small, simple language. It fits in my head, means I don't have to Google as much. Now, I haven't memorised it all, and there's also, I think it's a contrast, because when you see a small, simple language, you get the feeling you could implement it. I mean, I could sit down and I reckon in a few months I could have a stab at having a really bad version of Zig as it stands working. 6 months, 8 months, programmer 8 months, I think 16 months. If you ask me to write the Rust compiler, even, not code generation on it, just the front end, the type checking, and hooking onto LLVM, someone asked me how to do that, I would not be giving you an 8-month guesstimate. I'd be giving you way more. Why is that important? It's probably not, but I'm going to make a reason up that it is, just so I can carry on talking. The reason it might be important is small languages means that a single person can hold it all in their head. And the most important person that's for is the people implementing and designing the language. Because they can hold it all in their head, it means they can spot places where things don't fit together properly. And they can spot bits where you might be able to do a more general thing that lets you eliminate the need for two features by having a more generalised feature. That's harder to do in a big language, and it's also simpler to implement, which may mean less bugs, blah blah blah. But doing this as a small team, I'm not sure that would work. Small team doesn't necessarily mean less bugs compared to a big team writing a similar sort of program, because there's many eyes on it. So what are the negative points? I'm happy with the feature set of the language in the sense that it says here no operating load, overloading. It's meant to be simple. It feels a little bit verbose. I haven't fully used it in anger, so there might be things that I'm missing, but mostly not. They're only at version 0.4, so they've got a lot more time to fix these things, as has any other language. But at 0.4 you can still make breaking changes quite easily because you're not at the one version. Not exciting. Documentation consists of documentation. Here you go. One big thing which explains the language with many examples. What it doesn't do is explain this standard library. I'm not sure how committed they are to this current standard library we have in there. It may be that once they get a package manager, which does not exist yet, working, they may put a lot out of standard library and put it into packages, a bit like Rust did with their 1.0, I believe. They said, we're moving it, we're getting rid of everything, putting it all into standard libraries, then we'll gradually bring back the core bits. They did with everything, but sort of gradually bring back methods or functions on even things like vector, or were recently. That may have changed, hopefully that. They, for instance, don't have the ccmd here, but it's a to-do. Rust is very explicit about its memory allocation, so a lot of libraries take an allocator which you can supply. So you could have a memory arena or other types of allocators, or you could actually hopefully put a general purpose one in there. I have mail. Right, so what was I doing there? Well, I've done a few things. At the moment, I prefer it slightly more than Rust, mostly because I'm not having compile times problems. It borrows, the idea is that they're both taking C++, Rust and Zig, all heading in roughly the same direction. They've all got an optional type now. They've got this, that. Some of it's built into language. Sometimes it's a library, but it is heading in the same way. Right. Sound reasonable. Seems we could fast compiler said that. Okay. Bad point. There is little to no IDE support. Vim or Vi has syntax highlighting and auto reformatting, I believe. Emacs has syntax highlighting. VS Code has syntax highlighting. Noah has code completion yet, as far as I know. There isn't I don't think the community's large enough yet to support or drive that sort of stuff. So as far as I could tell, let's go up here. And go to the source code, the community, which I don't really know why I'm doing. No, I didn't want to go to the community. did want to go to community. Let's just go to that. No, here it is. It's been created by Andrew Kelly, and he's basically working on it full time, living off Patreon. So, should you have a few spare dollars and you like it, it's probably worth putting some monies his way. And he doesn't seem to keep his posts that good, but he is frequent. Now, I do worry when there's only one project, so the first thing I usually go to is Insights and check it out. And as you can see, while he's ahead, we also have Lemon Boy and other contributors which make up more contributions than this person's doing, Andrew's doing, over the past week. So let's put it out to a month. As you can see, Lemon Boy's pretty, and he's got a picture of a cat, but it's fairly diverse. So for instance, this Andrew Kelly decided he really hated it and that was had enough. There are maybe enough enough others to take over. Now he's the primary developer, so he's keeping, God, he lives in New York, wow, expensive place to live. Primarily primary designer on it, so it would probably change the language greatly, but there we go. So what have I been doing with that? Well, like every time you learn a new language, you want to do something simple. So in this case, I started writing a text adventure. Let's grow that a bit. Maybe that size. That looks humongous. It's a text adventure from a 1984 typing magazine called Input. I haven't got it that working yet. So this is basically some rooms that you define. As you can see, I'm creating an array of them, maybe. Like that. The exits tell you where to go, which is an enum. This is up here. You can specify the size of the enum. Why I said use size, probably because I'm indexing into something. I don't know. And all the different room names. Blah, 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 blah. Some tokens. Oh yes, that's because I want to break apart. Oh. After an inputted string, an input string, an inputted string, an entered string. Is inputted a word? Do people use inputted? I don't know. I use inputted. I think it is a word. I looked it up once a long time ago. Maybe better ways of doing that, but you know, there's, as you can see, mostly it's not too bad to write. It might look a bit dense on the screen. Yeah, so that's 300 lines there. I've done a few other things, wrote a little genetic algorithm, which is another few hundred lines, and probably a few other things that slip my mind at the moment. That's where I am. Well, that's what I've been up to. So, ACU, work, not streaming, Zig. So, over the next month, I'm planning on doing some more Zig. Now, I may begin to stream this, but the defining factor on whether I do that will be, where did Emacs go? Hello Emacs, here you go. Yes, I just closed it, because I thought it was something else, because it's so large. There we go. Whether or not I can get a comfortable environment. I don't want to be stopping using Emacs. Or, I tried Vim, I quite like Vim. In fact, as you can see, I've got evil mode working here, so I just can. But I thought I'd try Emacs, mostly because I find it slightly easier to configure. I prefer the Emacs Lisp to I don't know if that's out yet. To the horrible language VML, whatever it's called. See, what I've done is on my laptop I've created a few little extra key bindings, a few little scripts that so I can run the tests, or I can build the exe, or run the executable quite easily, which is sort of what you want to be able to do. You want to be able to run the tests on a program. It's an important thing to do. Tests are built in. It has a test keyword. But if I can get it running smoothly, I will stream a bit of dev work on it. As per usual, it seems like this month is going to be written off quite a lot. I think, well, actually let me think. So next week I might get the streaming done. I suspect the week after is half term, and so we will probably be fairly busy, but maybe get some streaming done. And finally, the following week after, I have some time off, so there'll be definite streaming then. I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I don't want to dive into anything complicated. I may, because I'm still learning, because I'm still learning Zig, I want to do some simple stuff like writing a text adventure. Maybe use it with STL or Raylib. I'm not really sure. Assuming it works, that would be my little goal. Not particularly anything too exciting or anything too complicated, because when you're learning a language you want to deal with things you're familiar with. Maybe get as far as writing some Space Invaders or Worms or something like that. That's pretty much covers it. So if you're here expecting Rust at the moment, probably not going to be happening. I would say that my couple of Rust videos I made, even though they were very low quality, get far more hits than the C++ videos, even though there's far more C++ videos. And I can't resist scrolling now, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if this is on your screen. So if you're a little YouTuber and you want to write some, you're a programmer and you want to do some system level coding, pick Rust, you get more viewers. Just a language people are searching for it. I'm not sure how many C++ people search YouTube, and there's probably a lot more C++ YouTubers out there, and many far better than me. Game state goes here. Yeah, that covers it. I'll be surprised if anyone's watching this, so hello if you are. Anyway, hopefully we shall get back to proper coding soon, but not today. Now my voice is starting to tire, so I'm going to call it a day. Let me check my notes. Yep, the Zig for the next month. That's the goal. We can write that down. It's going to be awesome, he says. Well, it's going to be interesting. My only reservation is it's a 0.4, and that I'm very wary of that. When you get a 0.1 release, a 1.0 release, you tend to be. If you get a 1.1 release of something, you know it's hopefully in a reasonably good state. Right, okay, thank you very much, and I shall see you next time, which will be another random time when nobody knows when it's going to be. Okay, thanks a lot. And I shall stop there. Good night.